Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, on this fabulous Friday for what is going to be another jam-packed YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking about an altcoin that we haven't covered in a little while, but it's about time that we started to do so. Those of you that watch the channel regularly will know that we have been highlighting the opportunity we believe that XRP is currently presenting, and this altcoin I think is very much going to appreciate with it. Not only have we seen a historic relationship of this altcoin moving alongside XRP, but actually when you look at the charts, which is what we're going to be doing in this video, they're very much setting up in a similar fashion. If there is something to be said there, perhaps this altcoin is slightly weaker, but doesn't mean that it isn't going to overperform, being a lot smaller market cap than XRP, or a lot smaller project than XRP. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's unveil the altcoin that we are talking about. And of course, we are talking about Stellar Lumens XLM. We're going to be doing a number of things in this video. We're going to be starting off by looking fundamentally at what this project is doing. When we talk about value that is going to be added to individual altcoins, ultimately that's going to come from usage and utility. And when it comes to Stellar Lumens, and we're going to show you a few things that they're doing, certainly recently they were mentioned by the Digital Pound Foundation. We know they're working with Circle, Wisdom Tree, or Franklin Templeton, and a number of other people in between, whether that's on tokenizing real world assets, remittance markets. Of course, they own a share in MoneyGram. You know, when we talk about value, it's going to come from use and utility. And this is a project that has just gone from strength to strength. I actually really do hope to get Danielle Dixon, the CEO of Stellar, on the show. If anybody can make that connection for me, please do so. Go ahead and add me on Twitter. Write me a comment or a reply on one of my tweets saying that you're able to do that. And of course, I'll add you and we'll start some talks. But when we think about value, it's ultimately come from usage and utility. Stellar absolutely ticks those boxes. And the interesting thing for me is we've been highlighting what we believe is an opportunity that could see XRP go to $19. Well, where does that put Stellar Lumens XLM? Very much a similar chart. In fact, we are going to be looking at this. We're also going to be talking about how historically these coins have very much moved together. So if we think XRP is potentially heading to $19, well, where's that going to put Stellar? Not 100% sure. Maybe the sort of $6, $7 range we will be doing. And if enough of you want a price prediction video, do let us know in the comment section. We'll be giving you a similar price prediction to what we gave XRP. We'll be working it out in a similar fashion. However, I don't think it's going to be $19 personally, but I do think it's going to do rather well. And just to be totally transparent before we go any further, I own Stellar Lumens. We have no affiliation with any of the related parties that are in charge of Stellar Lumens or foundations associated with it. I'm just a holder of it because I think there's an opportunity that's coming as a result of it. And I think Stellar Lumens back in 2017 was one of the first altcoins along with XRP. You know, I was buying things like Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, Electronium, all these things back then. It was one of the first altcoins that I sort of held, and obviously my portfolio and my I guess maturity in this space has hopefully grown massively since then. But Stellar's something that stayed with me along with XRP. So I do own Stellar, so take that into consideration. Maybe I'm somewhat biased. Let's dive into the video, guys, and let's start things off with a clip of Danielle Dixon, who is the CEO and Executive Director of the Stellar Development Foundation. Of course, Stellar, the blockchain, has no CEO. It is a decentralized ledger. Of course, they work with Franklin Templeton. Franklin Templeton offer Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum ETFs, and I'm sure a basket of others, but they're also a fund manager that has funds to tokenize, and we know the world is moving towards tokenization. We've got a lot of other news to sort of share with you in this video. Let me go ahead and mute my mic, and then we're going to dive into this video.
Like no one went. Well, it's so funny because I remember, I think it was in November of 2019, there was a filing that you guys had made that was picked up by, and it was the first mention of using the Stellar blockchain. And I was like, this is exactly the way that you want open technology to work. You guys looked at this, made your decisions about what you were going to do. No one had to force you. Like no one went out and said, hey, we're going to pay you lots of money to do this. You guys figured it out. We were thrilled to see that because that's exactly what we want to see happen all over the world. And what we do see happen not even like not at this scale necessarily, but small individual developers in other parts of the world can grab the technology and do it. But once we did, we were like, hey, we should be talking to them. And so we started the conversations, and it's just been so nice to watch the journey and to watch that, you know, you guys like did very methodically approach this. And so what are the benefits that you see for?
Well, I mean, of course, you know, at the time we were, you know, trying to figure out which platform to use. And, you know, I think we ended up with Stellar because of really the capabilities that you guys have that were so important for the regulatory environment, right? I mean, so this concept of being able to, you know, claw back a transaction, right? That's important. We're required to do that. If there's something that happens, you got to be able to fix some of those things, and you know, have this control environment in which we're responsible for. And you know, the Stellar chain allowed us to do some of those things, and then. Also, you guys Stellar's amazing with how cheap your gas fees are. I mean, there's nobody else that comes near that. And, you know, that's important to us and important to our clients. So it's really been I think, a terrific journey together.
So I just wanted to play that short and sweet clip from obviously Franklin Templeton. You've got their CEO there. Talking about why Stellar. It's a great sort of, or it's a kind of, I guess, endorsement of Stellar's blockchain. That you know, there's many others out there. We had news just the other day that 300 million fund is tokenizing solely through Stellar. I think what we should do, and I think this would be good, and also let me know in the comment section if you guys would want this, is really draw parallels and differences between Stellar and XRP, because there are some. You know, I think XRP is perhaps a lot more institutional, whereas Stellar is kind of positioning itself for the everyday individual. You know, there was a great kind of video that was released the other day, and it talks about crypto saves lives. Everybody was sharing this. And of course, it talks about the work that Stellar are doing with Decaf, MoneyGram, and Circle. So Stellar very sort of closely related to Circle, who is, of course, one of the biggest stablecoin issuers. You guys already probably know the role that I think stablecoins are going to play in the world that we're moving towards. Certainly in regards to furthering the US dollar's dominance around the world. I did a video today where I spoke about my barber being Turkish and the economic situation from a sort of monetary point of view in Turkey. You know, that's just one example of many countries that could really, I think, benefit from a dollarized system, or at least an alternative system or alternative store of value. Of course, we're seeing Bitcoin upticks there, and there was new laws passed in Turkey recently on, I think it was the 2nd of July, that make that a lot more accessible. But Stellar, I think, is rather positioned for, like, you know, they're a little bit more a people sort of crypto, not in the sense of owning it, but in the sense of sort of solving some of those use cases, rather than, and XRP does as well, but XRP seems a lot more kind of institutional payments focused. I suppose that's one kind of difference. We also had news just the other day that the Stellar blockchain chosen for new Europeg stablecoin initiative. This, of course, is from the Digital Pound Foundation. Lots of news from Danielle Dixon, again, somebody we're really hoping to get on the platform. Here is one in regards to Ether Fuse. Creators of the world first and only Mexican peso yield. This is the type of innovation we love to support. You also have news in regards to just Stellar stats. Generally, the video that we played was actually from a rather long thread in regards to some of the achievements looking over the past decade, whether it's to do with MoneyGram or any of the associated parties, you know, meeting with presidents and such. And, you know, there's World Economic Forum links there. Not that I'm a fan at all of the World Economic Forum. In fact, I'm kind of anti-World Economic Forum and the globalist agenda, which ultimately the reality I do believe is to sort of throw my 2 cents in here, is that actually cryptos are going to further that agenda. You know, and that's something that, you know, I do think about. But it's going to happen anyway. Might as well make money from it, right? Maybe that's a sad sellout kind of view, perhaps. I don't know. I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comment section. So 550 million tokenized assets, 575,000 crypto ramps, which is insane. 180 countries, one network, Stellar. You know, there's real world adoption here. And to sort of move on to the price, we've really been highlighting what we believe is essentially going to be a repeat of what led to 2017, obviously on a significantly less scale in regards to percentages, but we are looking at a $19.27 price prediction. Stellar looks exceptionally similar, ladies and gentlemen, to the sort of structure that XRP is setting up. albeit a little bit less strong. You know, you're kind of a lot further away from this low here for XRP. Sorry, guys. Then you are perhaps the likes of Stellar. You're very close to it. However, it just means it's a little bit sort of lower down, but the pattern's very similar. You know, we've looked at the fact that these historically move together. This is 2017. Obviously, this is 2017. You can say a lot of things moved together in 2017. I think that's a fair argument to what I'm putting forwards. But if we look at, obviously, the current day structure, you can see really broadly what we're highlighting here, guys. And essentially, we think these are on a very similar trajectory. And again, when you look at what's going to drive the values of these distributed ledgers, there's going to be multiple things, but one undoubtedly is going to be real-world application and usage. These are very similar charts. And if we're suggesting that there's a major opportunity with XRP, it's very likely Stellar is going to bask in that sunshine along with it. And that's something that we thought was worth making a video on and worth highlighting. If you guys, because we think there's an opportunity really setting up here with Stellar also, and remember this is not financial advice, want more videos on Stellar Lumens, perhaps from a fundamental point of view like we do with XRP and many other projects here on the channel, and you want us to incorporate it in our regular rotation, do let us know in the comment section, and we'd be more than happy to accommodate. You know, we aren't any one chain maximalist. We're a blockchain maximalist. We're a distributed ledger maximalist. We ultimately think that this technology is going to play a fundamental role in the world that we're moving towards. It already is, and that's only going to accelerate. And there's a major opportunity that comes with that, certainly as we don't even have sort of any kind of clear regulations thus far, or solid ones. We've got loose ones, but there's a whole kind of upgrading of the traditional financial systems that is still yet to take place. And I think some of the blockchains that we highlight on this channel are going to play a role in that, and you guys get to speculate on that. So that's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are all having a fantastic Friday, and I'll see you over the weekend. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. See you all in the next one.